So in this video, we're going to be doing, hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be doing what we're doing, finishing up what we were doing in the past video, which is uploading a file to MySQL and showing it back on the page. Okay, so here, if you remember back to this profile JavaScript file here, we set a route, we set a resource, we notify when to come back to, and we set the name of the file and the size, right? Using the selected file, which we gathered up here. Up here. Okay, so on services here, we just set some data. We say here's the name, which we got here. You can actually just go copy paste this here. I don't know why I did it that way. Name, size. Oh, it's because I use name multiple times. That's why. Name, size. We set the data as empty currently, and then we set what the download spot is at, and then the place we're starting at. Okay, and then we use fs stat sync to to basically touch that file, which Linux and touch, you're just creating an empty file essentially. Then we say, okay, is it a file? Which it should always be a file, but just might as well have to check. Is it a file? And then we say the name here in this array dot downloaded equals stat size, and then we start the place at the stat size divided by our chunks here, right? So, and then we catch any errors, which this doesn't really ever fire, but if it does, you can handle it that way. And then we use fs to create that file, empty by the way, if you remember with the size, we'll get to that in a second. Setting open permissions, just in case there's an error. There shouldn't be, but in case there is, here you go. We're getting a file handler right here, and we store the file handler in this array under a new one called handler, which obviously you put handler, but we just assign it right there. There's no need to put it up there, stub it out. So we assign it here, the array, and then we say, if we're going to remit back a response and say, hey, it's successful, file upload started, notify the notify that we sent here, user upload, hey, notify user upload that we need more data and where we're at currently and what percentage we're at and the name of the file. Some of this stuff is superfluous, we don't really need it, but it's just nice to pass the data and see it in the console to kind of know what's going on. Okay, so here, oh, excuse me, I put it down here. This is user upload, which you remember back it says our user uploads where we're notifying back to, and in this case we're getting more data. So we say, okay, well, let's notify the upload progress percent, which just builds that little thing out we built out earlier. Takes a progress bar, sets the width, the percent. If you're using, this is for Bootstrap's percent bar. I don't use it in this scenario, in this tutorial, but it's just want to put it here just in case you want to use it. Here's a code you'd use for Bootstrap percentage bar. This is the one I use, which is an actual number, and then we say, well, how far close are we to being done, and then we upload the done thing. So it's basically like, this might say 1 meg, this will say, what the percentage is. Anyways, the thing is pretty clear. Okay. So, this is the percent, and this is the megabytes. Okay, anyway. So, then what we do is we grab the place value times the chunk that we're sending, right? And then we just get where we're grabbing stuff at. And then this is for Firefox, because Firefox handles things differently than other browsers. So if it's Firefox, if they're using Firefox, then we start at this place and go to the next place with this, the next chunk essentially here. And then with Chrome, we do slice instead. Or, well, I guess i.e. other browsers, you do this one here. And then we read as binary as string from the new file here. And then this read as binary string actually fires this function we set earlier, the onload function, which notifies the services to continue the upload, and then we tell services what upload we're continuing with, what data and what user ID. Okay, so go back to the services. You see, this is kind of a long process because Socketcluster, but it's really fast because we're not doing the traditional post where you post the whole file. We're doing it in chunks. Okay, so here's upload. So this is kind of our if statement, tells where it's actually at, and we're saying, okay, let's get the name, the downloaded, where we are at in the downloaded amount, and then the data we're saving. And then we say, okay, well, if the file downloaded is equal to the file name, total size of the file, that means we're done. So we'll run this function. If not, if the length is less than that amount, then we run this, and then otherwise we run this guy here. Okay, so excuse me. And the point of this is this just sets the 100%. You'll see, and then yeah, that's right. And then this is say, hey, more data. This is the one that probably runs the most because this is the one that runs in, hey, it's less than the total length. So we grab this guy here, we write the file data, and then we say, hey, give me more data. And this one that runs, and then it runs into this one here. And this is one, so this is the one that sets 100%. Okay, so we're just handling the length differences here. Okay, because like if the file total length is less than what we're sending, then you do it differently. Okay. All right, so let's say we're done. So we loop done, get more data, and then we get to the final one here. Then we're done. This is the enters in this function here. We finally actually write the file itself, because remember we're storing it in this files variable here. Which, by the way, if you want to do this for like a production server that has a million users on there, then you simply just tie the user ID to the name, and because each user ID is unique, it would make the name of the file unique, and then you never have conflicts. In this scenario, you might have conflicts because two files might have the same name or whatever. Anyway, so just important to note that. But in this scenario, we're not too worried about it. I want you to know that's a possibility, so you should probably set the user ID, whatever the file name is plus user ID, and then you'll never have conflicts. Okay. So we're going to write this as binary data to the file. We create this little pack variable. We pass it to our user uploads function here with the client variable, the pool, and the pack, which is all the path to the file, and where we're telling the client that we're done. We notify back to the client, hey, we're done uploading. Now we're processing. This is kind of a nice little middleware to let the client know, hey, we finished the upload, so this will also clear this thing and create this, and then create a little image up here that says, or a little text up here that says, hey, we've done upload, now we're processing, and then you can go over to user upload here, and of course we don't really do any processing here, but if sometimes you need to do some processing on the file, editing, whatever, you do that in your async here, and then we set update user, set image to the load file here, which is this grabs that file path, which if we go back to services up here, we put that in temporary plus the file name. So if you want to see here, oops, I gotta fix that. There we go. Okay. Okay. So you'll see these guys here. Oh, I want to mention too, if the file name is already uploaded, so the node will just grab it out of there. So one thing that's kind of cool, like you'll see, we've already uploaded this 11 meg file here. So watch how fast that is. Now it has to pull it down, but as far as upload is concerned, you saw the upload was instant, because it's already existing in temporary, which is what that the stat stuff up here is doing. This stuff here. Anyway, okay, so all right, so users has this little file path, whatnot. We load file here. One thing too is important in production, you might need to set MySQL to. Oh, we're out of time. Well, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.